Good evening. Welcome to 6 o'clock with SOC this Thursday, October 14th. I am so very excited to share this space with new organizer with SOC, Elizabeth Ramirez. Hola, Elizabeth.
Hola, Tammy. Bendiciones. Hello.
Thank you. Elizabeth's going to go ahead and share our interpretation services for those members in our community who need simultaneous interpretation in Spanish.
Claro que sí, le agradecemos por acompañarnos hoy. Para escuchar en español, llame al 646-749-3122 y el código de acceso es 779-328-221.
My name again is Tammy Rivera. I'm the executive director of SOC, and we're so glad you're with us today. And this is a especially exciting week. I always get most excited by lifting up those neighbors in our community who are doing great things and being able to have discussions with them and introduce them to you and have you share any questions or comments you have. So today, I am really happy that Scott Patrick is with us. Scott Patrick is a neighbor and a business owner in Walker's Point. So let's give him a warm welcome. And Elizabeth is going to lead the questions for Scott today.
Hello.
Hola, Scott.
Hola.
Can I just thank you again? We were at Scott's home/business for the meeting of Walker's Point Association Resident Engagement Group yesterday. And I always say when I'm there, they need to put the 4th Mitchell Dome over that beautiful garden that you have.
They don't have to work too hard and keep it green all year round.
All right. And you know Elizabeth, of course, and she'll be leading the discussion today.
Yes. Hello, Scott. Welcome again. Thank you for joining us on our forum today. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Walker's Point Association, the Resident Engagement Group, please?
Sure. Well, I've been, and my wife, Narina, we've been residents of Walker's Point since 2000. We bought our building in 1999. It was abandoned, and we spent the next several years getting plans approved and restoring it using historic tax credits. So we had to follow a lot of historic rules to make that happen. But we wanted to be here in Walker's Point because it's close to downtown, and we wanted a building where we could live and work in the same place. So we live upstairs, and my photography studio is downstairs. And then, as you've mentioned, one of the unique features of our building is that it comes with a second lot. And so we have the garden next door to us that over the years, we've planted dozens of trees, many other landscaping improvements. It's a place we enjoy. It's a place our cats enjoy. And now it's also a place where our chickens and honeybees enjoy. So we've made it our own little oasis in the city to relax and grow a little garden and have some fresh eggs, and it's a lot of fun. Because I've been a resident and business owner here for so long, we've been longtime resident members of the Walker's Point Association, and partially because of COVID, but just because we're residents, a couple years ago, I decided I needed to get more involved with residential concerns for the neighborhood with the Walker's Point Association, and looking at how do we reinvigorate or create some sort of new type of neighborhood watch or neighborhood safety organization that those of us who live here, as well as some of the others who work here, can get together and just talk about how we keep our neighborhood safe, because we all know that there are some issues, and we need to figure out ways we can better take care of our neighborhood. And that's what I'm hoping to do with the Walker Point Association and this committee. And of course, the residents is get together and get ideas and get people involved to keep an eye out for our neighborhood.
Right. Definitely, that's important. I know that safety, especially for the residents, and having that presence of community. I was wondering if who can people contact if they like to join your group and get involved? Who that may they reach out to?
Well, we try and do everything as much as we can online. And so we have a Facebook page for Walker's Point Association. And then we also have our website. So you can go to walkerspointassociation.org. And there on the website, you will see what we have going on as far as upcoming events, like our monthly gatherings and our safety meetings and things like that. There's also just more information about the history of the organization and the members who are part of the group. But the best thing to do then is, because we're all volunteer organization, there's no one person sitting in an office by a phone. It is best to go to the About page on walkerspointassociation.org, and there's a form you can fill out with your name and email, and then we will follow up with you and get you on our list to come to meetings, to be able to share what you're doing and be involved there. And that's really the best way, because again, we're all volunteers. Once you get to know people, you'll get people's phone numbers. And so then I can call other members and say, hey, what do you think about this or that? But as far as initially getting involved and getting your name put in with the other names of the group, it's best to go online and do it that way.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you for that information. I will make sure to add it in the comments for people. I was wondering, is the information also available in Spanish by chance, or just English?
That is a good question. I know in the past we've talked about adding a Spanish version of the website. I don't see that that's been done right. Oh, wait, I stand corrected. If you go to walkerspointassociation.org, at the very top by the logo, you can select whether you get to read the site in English or Spanish. So yes, we do have the site available to you in Spanish.
Perfect. Thank you for that information. And also, is there a cost at all to become part of the resident group?
For the resident group, no. It is free to be a member. It's for all of us to participate and be involved. The businesses do pay, but that's for other promotional services and support of the organization. All residential people who live in the Walker's Point neighborhood are able to join for free. There's no fee to do so.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, I hope that you definitely get some more residents involved, and we will definitely be providing the links in the comments so they are able to find that information from you. Is there anything you would like to share more from your group?
I think the group itself, again, because it was started as a business referral organization, we do want to hear more from the residents and know and understand their concerns, because it is a neighborhood of everyone. Even if you're a business owner that you may not live here, you're still concerned about safety. You're concerned about if there's crime or break-ins. The car thefts have been a big problem lately. It's something that affects all of us. And so I think the business people do support that the residents want to have a voice and that we want to be partners to making this a better neighborhood. But obviously, as a resident who lives here 24/7, we have deeper concerns about everything from crime and people, in the neighborhood, to taxes and gentrification, and are we going to be able to continue to live here? And I've only been here 20 years. I know I have fellow residents who've been here 40, 50, 60 years, and we want to stay here. We want this to be our home, and we're happy to see that the neighborhood is growing, but it can't grow and push us out. We need to be able to stay here and be the long-term character and soul of the neighborhood that we have been, and not lose it to just nothing but newcomers and high-rise apartments.
Most definitely. Thank you very much, Scott, for all that information. I would like to bring our executive director back, Tammy Rivera, with us.
Scott, I wanted to share with folks some of the projects that we've collaborated on SOC with the Resident Engagement Committee, and some of the projects the residents have done that maybe people will recognize as they're in the neighborhood. So one thing I know that you all were highly involved in was the transformation of Palafidio Park. Did I pronounce that right?
Your pronunciation is probably better than mine.
And so, if anyone's there, that's right on 3rd and between Walker.
It's 3rd and Walker. It's on that corner, but yes, it's between Walker and Mineral.
And so if you want to see, folks, if you live in that area, like some of the stuff that residents can make happen, neighbors can make happen, they were highly involved in transforming. That was an abandoned lot. As a matter of fact, when I was a little girl, it was really an abandoned lot. And one side had a huge slope, and we used to sled down it because I lived on the next block down my mom's house. And it was abandoned for a long time. And it's a gorgeous park. It has a garden. They use it to do music and meetings and art. So that's an exciting piece that you all, got to dig into, that folks can see. Like, these are the results of what neighbors can achieve together.
Yes, I mean, it was a group effort. It is a continuing group effort. And not only have the residents been involved and done the work, but having the help of Arts at Large, who now manages the park. And so now you have a little bit more organized eye of that nonprofit overlooking the park and doing things like those concerts. Me as a wedding photographer, I didn't have my garden ready earlier this year, so they let us have the wedding in the park. And it was just beautiful. They have the lights, they have the little stage where the music plays, and then all the family and guests could gather around. And then there's the gardening that's going on there. And even I was walking by after lunch today, and people were just sitting in the park picnicking and having their lunch. And so it's a wonderful asset to the community. And happily, we see it stay clean. We see it used, and we don't see it abused. And that's important. And that's a testament to the neighbors and the neighborhood, that they're staying involved and not letting this park go to waste.
Yeah. And then the other piece that I'm really proud of the neighbors there are, we did a project, the transportation oriented development project with the city, to really get neighbors out to be part of, the needs assessment and planning for what would happen in that area in terms of walking, bicycling, driving, building development, building rehab, like what people wanted physically in that community. And the residents engagement, the resident committee and the residents in that area really turned out.
They have, and I've been a part of many discussions, and it's so wonderful to see when the neighborhood comes together for the transit-oriented development review. Just here on 5th Street, 5 years ago, we had 5th Street rebuilt, and you go back a couple years before that, and we all got together, and the city did listen to us about how we wanted it rebuilt, what we wanted to see to make the city to make the street more pedestrian friendly. And you see that now, that the different restaurants and breweries have their outdoor cafes, that you're able to walk much more safely and see around the traffic and not worry about cars coming too close to you. And then even years before that, one of the early South Side strategic plans for the future, with UWM, with the city, and with the many residents, people care about this area. They want to see it grow and develop. And that was always our hope when we moved here, that it was not a busy downtown, but a neighborhood, and it had businesses and it had liveliness, but it also had those people that lived here for 60 years that you could get to know and talk with. And it had the character of a neighborhood. You know, we can wave to our neighbors as they walk their dogs going by. We can see students we're familiar with as they go to school in the morning and come home in the afternoon. All those kind of things that make this city neighborhood very livable and very enjoyable to be a part of, right close to downtown, and not feel like it's just skyscrapers.
That's great to know. You know, it holds a special place in my heart because I was born and raised in that community. I hope to return and buy my mom's home one day back there. So I'm glad you're taking care of it, Scott, along with the other neighbors.
Yes, definitely. Everyone deserves a credit.
All right. Well, thank you very much again, Scott, for joining us today. We will make sure to have this information in the comments for everyone. So we would like to invite everyone out there viewing us now to contact the Walker's Point Association. If you would like to get involved, you can also contact us here at the Southside Organizing Center, and we would be glad to provide that information for you.
Thank you, Scott. Until we can meet in your garden again.
Thank you. We'll film from there next time.
All right, adios.
Adios.
Thank you, Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth's first time co-moderating. Don't you think she's doing an incredible job, folks? Why don't you leave us a comment and say hello, Elizabeth, and give her some encouragement and thanks for being brave and digging in to her first time co-moderating. And then we'll say hello to some of the folks in the comments section. We'll respond back to you in comments. All right, folks, let's move on to the next segment. Let's get an update from our COVID-19 team. We should be having a piece come up any second. If not, if that's not ready, maybe we can do the civic engagement update, whichever of the two.
Hello, I'm Perez Hilton. Did you know that more people in the United States check their Facebook and watch the Super Bowl than exercise their right to vote? We've got some serious issues to deal with. So how come so many of us don't even bother to vote? Is it because we don't care? Or maybe it's because we don't know our history.
So let's go back, way back. Our country's first election came after fighting for our independence, a fight that cost many lives, but it was worth it because instead of being ruled by a king, we were finally able to make our own laws.
But not everybody was allowed to participate. You see, back then, you had to own property, be white, and a man in order to actually vote. Now, things continued that way for about 80 years, until after the Civil War, when slavery was abolished and all men were given the right to vote.
Now hold up a minute. Just because we had the right to vote didn't mean we could use it. See, all these new voters wanted to participate, which threatened the people in power and their ability to stay in power. So they tried to stop us with violence and shady new requirements like literacy tests and poll taxes. We had to fight for nearly 100 years before the Voting Rights Act passed, which finally outlawed these dirty tricks.
And you weren't the only ones that had to fight for your right to vote. Somehow women got left out and had to organize and fight state by state, until we took our fight to Washington and finally got our right to vote all across the country. And even once the laws guaranteed every person the ability to vote, you still had to be 21 in most states. So when our government began drafting people under 21 to go fight in Vietnam, they realized their lives were at stake and they had no say. young people all across the country rose up in protest and demanded that everyone over 18 should be allowed to vote.
And since then, young people's votes have been crucial in deciding lots of big elections. Like in 2008, when a black candidate had a real chance to become president, young people showed up in record numbers. And every year, we make up a larger share of the voting population, giving young people more power, but only if we participate.
So let me break it down. Together, there is so much we can decide, like whether or not we should go to war, or how we spend our money, and how we power our lives.
It's up to you to make your choices and shape our future. If we sit on the sidelines, then others will make it work for them instead of us. So let's make our voices heard.
So what would it take for you to vote?
Listen, folks, it's a great reminder about voting even between elections. You know, we have usually elections, a primary and an election in the spring, and usually a primary and election in the fall. And so it's super important to keep that in front of us and reminding us so we stay motivated and educated for the next election. What I'm going to do now is, we had a little bit of difficulty earlier with the COVID announcement, but I'm going to attempt to share my screen. I'm not always successful at these things. I'm not from this digital generation, but I'm going to give it a try and see if we can share, because we got some important things to share. So here I go. I'm hoping that you see the MPS site and the vaccine promotion. The challenge here, folks, is I don't know if you can see it or not. So I'm going to need someone from my team to text me and tell me, did I successfully share my screen? I'm going to wait to make sure that I get a message from one of the team members on my cell, and then I'm going to talk about this. You can read it while I get ready. Edith says yes. Okay. Super important, folks. There is a $100 incentive for students of the Milwaukee Public School System, MPS, to get vaccinated. And that deadline is in just a couple of weeks. So that's November 1st. You really want to take advantage of this if you haven't so far. And we're going to put the link here in the comments for you to get the rest of the detailed information that you need. I'm going to go here and see if they have any more details on the side where there's a pullout. So here we go. The students who are eligible, you have to be 12 years of age or older, be fully vaccinated by November 1. You got to complete the application by November 15th. And you have to be attending an MPS school or an MPS charter school or partnership school. And then it's for the children who are ages 12 to 17 only. And it's for the Pfizer vaccine, as you can see. This one requires 2 doses at least 21 days apart. So we'll go ahead and share this site for you in the comments so you can get access to the rest of the details and the application. Now I'm going to move over to where you can get vaccinations for regular community members, other members outside of this group. So if we go here, we're going to share this site as well. But this is a perfect place for you to bookmark to get the latest information about what's happening locally. It's the City of Milwaukee Health Department. And the website is city.milwaukee.gov/COVID/VAX, as in vax. And here gives you information about vaccinations as well. And so, sometimes we're not feeling well. We wake up, we got to go to work, and we have to have clearance. You have to make sure you're not sick, or you just want to protect your family and friends or need to know what's happening. So if you go to this site, you'll find all the information you need to know. It's also provided in Spanish and Hmong on where to get vaccination for folks 12 years and older. They're provided free of charge. Your insurance information is not collected. There are thousands of vaccines happening daily. And now you can even get in-home vaccination by calling 286-6800 to schedule. 286-6800 to schedule. And then we have at least 2 centers in the city on the north side and the south side where you can get your booster doses of the vaccine, the Pfizer version vaccine already. So we'll share that in the comments. You can read the rest of the details, but make sure that you visit that if you need vaccinations. I'll say a couple other things that I noticed now, which is they're also besides scheduling appointments, you can go to some sites that have walk-in clinics. There's no appointment needed. So that's another great resource. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to stop sharing and see if I return here. Ta-da! Made it happen. So I'm going to invite you and remind you to do that. Some great opportunities and great resources. And then I am going to turn over the forum back to Elizabeth, who's going to have some encouragement about your engagement today. So let's see what's happening with the sound.
Oh, sorry about that. Here I am. I had to unmute myself there. So thank you very much for joining us again today. We really appreciate your support. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our Southside Organizing Center and visit our website. We do also want to invite you to fill out this survey to let us know if this forum is useful and informative to you so that we can keep 6 o'clock with SOC going for residents. So we'll be providing the link for you in the comments. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take our quick survey that's located in our comments section so that we can get your feedback on how to keep this live forum going for residents. Thanks for